Hi, Madison. Hi, Quentin. Good afternoon. I'm painting a flower that is new for me. I've never painted morning glories before. I actually have them in the garden. But I've never tried to paint them. So we'll see how this goes. They are a beautiful flower. All right. I'm going to go for another one. I'm using Splish Splash and She, a nice purpley blue. Using Splish Splash and She, a nice purpley blue color from KMS. Okay, I think that's good for just a second. Almost good for now. I gotta get those iconic leaves in here somewhere. I'm gonna go for a very loose version. I think the little greenery at the edges, right where we start to bloom, I'll do those next. I'm gonna mix up a green right here and something like this. I really like that bleed. Love how it's creeping up. Okay. Okay. Thinking about how I'm going to do these leaves. Deciding which brush I want, since this already has green on it. This will do. I definitely want to add a few buds. So I got to get them somewhere. Probably put one in there. They like to climb, so I'll make that a bud. That one a bud. Got to get some leaves at the bottom. Okay. Some more. think I'm going to go back to finishing off these buds with some more of that purpley blue color. Tiny dash of yellow. What kind of paint? I'm using handmade watercolor. Both sets of colors are by KMS watercolor. So I'm using a mix of moss and spring grass for the greens here, and a mix of Splish Splash and She to make the flowers. And these are just little sample size amounts of the paints. I think I do want to add a little bit of yellow to these centers, just a tiny bit. So I'll use Yellow Taxi, I think, for that. Just want a dash. Okay. Thinking about what else I want to add to this. They have a bunch of vines, so I'm going to add a little more greenery. Some little curly cues. Usually these are like my finishing touches, but I do want to add a little bit more to these flowers. They're just too wet at the moment. So I'm adding a few of these things that I'd usually save for the end. Maybe even a bit of detail in the leaves. Now I'm thinking about how I'm going to finish off these petals. Thank you. I hope you find the painting itself calming as well. Trying to make these petal edges a little bit more rounded here. Yes, the nails. I actually have to redo them soon. Thanks, Joyce. I want it to get lighter towards the center, so no harsh edges in there. Even though this is a new flower to me, and I've never painted anything quite like this one before, I do find it relaxing. I'm not really worried about how it's going to end up. Yes, I love the leaves of this one. Okay. I think I might want to smooth that edge out a little bit more. I think these are almost done. This one is my favorite so far. I think I want to make, I'll blend that out, but I want to make it a little bit more noticeable. The little attachment here. Now I'm kind of lifting some color in places. I don't want to do too much to this one. I just really like how the color looks in this one. This is a Princeton Neptune. It's an 8. It's my go-to brush. For the leaves and all the greenery, I used my Princeton Petals brush 8. So it's basically a triangle brush. And comes to a beautiful point. Okay, I really like how this one came out. Pretty happy with that one. This one, I don't know. Maybe some layers when it's more dry. There's not a lot of definition to those petals. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think when it's completely dried, I'll add a few tiny detail lines, just to give it something extra. I paint once a day. This is my summer break, so I have more time to go live. I also paint after work during the school year. That's sort of like a 5 to 10 minute painting. This one I took special care because it was a special request from yesterday. So I looked through all my pictures from Morning Glories in the garden from years ago to try and get the shapes right, kind of see what the leaves look like. This is just paper. It's not too expensive. I think it's around $9 for 20 sheets. So it's not too expensive. It's got a nice texture to it. It's not going to give you the amazing bleeds and techniques that you can use for 100% cotton paper, like an Arches, but I love it because I think I'd be bankrupt, at this point. I have bow hung paper as well that I like. It's a little bit smaller though. I like the size of this one. So I think this is pretty much it for today's live. Do we have suggestions for what I should paint tomorrow? Over on Instagram, I've got, thank you for the rose. I've got a challenge going on with Traces of Water. So next week I'm going to try and paint peonies and delphiniums as much as possible together. Michael's is having a 50% off on art stuff right now. That's very tempting. I love painting roses. Let me show you what I painted yesterday. So these are my roses from yesterday. Lilacs, I love lilacs. I have painted hydrangea. They're not one of my comfort flowers, but I do enjoy them. I can try and do something like that. Lilies, stargazers are beautiful as well. This I painted live with you guys yesterday. I added my little bit of ink to it, so I wanted to show you what that looked like. Thank you. So maybe hydrangea tomorrow. Foxglove. I actually painted foxglove with paint that is made from foxglove. So that was an ink and watercolor piece, but I have my poisonous palettes. That's what gave me the ideas. Yes, foxgloves are gorgeous. Thank you. The butterflies, yes. I think the last 4 or 5 paintings I've done, I've included a little butterfly now, so that seems to be a theme. I think a bee or a butterfly would look really cute there. Yes, I'm live at around the same time every day, 4 p.m. Eastern, around 4, so a little before or a little bit after. I'm on my summer schedule, so I try and stick with that for you so you know when I'm going live. But where did you get the foxglove paint? Oh, I don't make my paints. I buy them from either Boulder Colors, who made the foxglove paint and these little palettes as well, or KMS. I love KMS for her metallics. They are insanely beautiful if you like metallic paint. My favorite golds are from KMS. And then all the earthy, rich colors that are just like so creamy too, Boulder Colors. So that's what the roses and these were made from, Boulder Colors. Thank you so much for all the questions. So possibly hydrangea tomorrow. Maybe some lilies coming up. We can do that. Yeah, that sounds lovely. So I'll try and be here around 4 p.m. tomorrow. Very loose style hydrangea. And see you there for that. Thanks for the suggestion. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.